Miami fans. This is Canes All Access. I'm your host, Cameron Dobbs, and today we're diving into more lives of our student athletes here at the U. We have Aino Otava from swimming and Max Flory from Canes Dive. Starting us off first in studio, we got Max Flory with us. Max, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm so great. We're so excited to have you on, and it was quite the effort to get you on the show today. In fact, we only lucked out because your class was actually canceled. So we're fortunate there. But talk to me. You got fall season going on right now. What does your schedule look like in fall?
Oh man, weekdays pretty busy. I'm pretty much busy from 9 to 5 every day. I practice from 9 to 11. I'm in class from like 11 to 1:30, and then practice from 2 to 4, lift weights from 4 to 5, and then I go home.
Diving is a little unique in terms of sports because, you know, obviously in football and volleyball and other sports, soccer as well, you'll do two-a-days maybe in preseason, but you guys do two-a-days almost all year round. Talk to me about the intentionality behind making that a priority in your sport.
Yeah, so with diving, a lot of it's about repetition. So you need to get a lot of repetitions off and really hammer in some of the basic skills so that your more difficult, complex dives that you'll do in competition are sharper and you can really hone in on the scores.
And you're also a unique sport because you guys are training at a high level of competition all year round. I mean, you're not just, you know, training to stay in shape, to stay in what you do best, but you're literally competing at world championships over the summer. Mm-hmm. What is that like in your sport? Talk to us about the all year round competition that diving is.
Yeah, all year round, it's cool. I mean, the college season gives you a little bit more competition, so it gives you a little more practice to compete at. College is still a high level, but you get a little more practice at, there's less consequences, you know? So it's really cool to do well in the college season, but then you can go into your USA season where you're competing at the national championships or the world championships, and then hopefully the Olympic Games, and you can feel confident that you've had a lot of experience competing.
And talk to me about your personal experience competing world championships and more over the past couple of years.
Yeah, it's been cool. So 2022 World Championships was in Budapest, Hungary. That was my first one. I competed in the 10-meter synchronized event there. We came 8th place. That was exciting to break out onto that stage and start competing at that level, especially with the Olympic Games coming up at the end of this year. So then I actually qualified in 2023 in the Fukuoka World Championships in the individual event instead, which was cool to compete for the first time at that level individually as opposed to synchro. So it's good to have had those experiences under my belt going into this season where I'll hopefully qualify at our national championships in November. That'll qualify for the world champs in February. So I'll hopefully qualify there, and I'm looking to qualify in both of the events and then hopefully go on to the Olympic Games later this summer.
You say this so casually, like it's no big deal, but this is the coolest thing ever. Congratulations on everything so far.
Thank you.
And you mentioned synchronized diving as well. Was that alongside former teammate?
That was,
too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talk about that. How was that experience?
Oh, it was cool because, I mean, we were competing together in college at the time, so we would push each other to do better, and then we would pair up as a team to dive together, which was a lot of fun. It made training really exciting, and it kind of had a dynamic where we were always pushing each other, which was exciting.
And that was Zach Cooper, is that correct?
Yes, it was.
Awesome. So talk to me now. You got a high caliber of teammates here, coaches, of course, as well. But how much does that element, both on the women's side and the men's side here at Miami, how much does that element contribute to your success and your efforts and your skill here at the U?
I think it's a huge impact. I mean, you want to be around like-minded people every day. So when you're pursuing your goals, you want to be surrounded by other people that have similar goals in mind. You know, there's some saying I saw on the internet where it was like, if you hang out with 4 idiots, you're going to be the 5th. You know, you hang out with 4 millionaires, you're going to be the 5th. So it's like, surround yourself with people that have the same goals as you, and you'll end up going in the right direction.
Most definitely. I've heard, show me your friends and I'll show you your future.
Right, yeah.
Very good,
Same
very
thing.
good. So true.
Same idea.
And you've had quite the career. I mean, we're talking about future, but so far here at Miami, oh my goodness, we've mentioned some already, but your career with the Canes, you've earned 2023 ACC Men's Diver of the Year, 3-time 2023 ACC Gold Medalist, 2022 ACC Gold Medalist, 2-time 2021 ACC Silver Medalist, and 3-time 2020 ACC Bronze Medalist. What would you say is the highlight of your career so far?
Oh man, highlight was probably winning 3 golds last season. That was really exciting. It was a good moment between me and the coach. It was really fun to have accomplished that. And it wasn't easy. First 2 events went really smoothly. The third event started off super rocky, and I was down in last place, and I had to claw my way back up throughout the event. So that was a good mental battle throughout it, just to stay in the game and not, I missed a few dives in the very beginning and not let it get in my head and just come back strong to accomplish that. So it was a really fun event. It was great between me and the coach and everything. Like, it was awesome. My other highlight would be my freshman year when me and Brody Scapins, Zach Cooper, David Dinsmore, we went 1, 2, 3, 4 on the men's 10-meter event. That was probably one of the highlights of my college career. It was extremely exciting. The energy was ridiculous. We were all cheering and going crazy, and David won. He was getting interviewed, and we were all messing around in the background, just freaking out. It was so much fun because that was a huge moment too. So
Miami on top.
2 favorites.
Miami on top. That's awesome. How incredible. And with doing so many different events, you're competing in a lot of different ways. What would you say is your favorite event to do?
Definitely the 10-meter platform, but probably the synchronized event. I really like the synchronized event.
And having so much success in your past so far, what would you say are your goals for this season?
Oh man, definitely the big one, the Olympic Games. I would love to be competing at the Olympic Games this summer and hopefully going for a medal. So that's all-time goal right there. Anything else is a sort of a stepping stone on the journey.
I love it. And we know how successful you are in the pool as a diver. But talk to us a little bit. Give us something we don't know about Max Flory. What is something you like to do outside of your sport?
Oh man, I'm pretty into food. I spend time on the weekends, not just restaurants, but just what I cook and eat on a daily basis at home. So I have a farmer I go to on the weekends, and he'll provide me with some fresh milk and eggs and any dairy products I want and stuff. So I go see him. Love this guy. He's super cool. I can see the animals that I'm getting my food from and know how he treats them and what kind of quality they are. So that's something a little interesting that not many people might know.
Oh my goodness, we have a chef in the house today, a chef in the studio. I love to see it. All right, so if you had all the time and money in the world, what would be your go-to meal to cook?
Oh man, go-to meal. Simple. I'm not anything crazy with it. I would probably just have a couple ribeyes. I would have definitely some massive like fresh mangoes, like during mango season, some of those, and maybe just a glass of milk. That'd be perfect.
Nice. Nothing better than a cold glass of milk.
Yeah.
I love it, Max. Thank you so much for hopping on the show today. Congratulations, my goodness, on everything so far.
Thank you.
And best of luck. We hope to see you in the Olympic Games.
Thank you. I appreciate
summer
it.
2024.
Thank you so much.
Up next, Aino Otava joins us on Canes All Access to talk about her comeback season, her career at the U, and so much more. Stay with us. Aino Otava, welcome to Canes All Access.
Thank you for having me.
We are so excited to have you, and I'm thrilled to dive into all the topics we have today. We've been talking offline a little bit about what we're going to speak on, and there's a lot to you, so I'm excited to dive right into that. Mm-hmm. But first things first, you are going into your final season here at the U. Mm-hmm. What has your time at Miami meant to you so far?
It's meant a lot. Like, I think I've gotten a lot of questions of like, oh, are you like having bittersweet emotions like your last year and not? Kind of, but I'm more like grateful. Like, I think this was like a dream of me when I was like since 13 to be a student athlete, and having to go through all those years at Miami has like meant so much to me. It's like very special for me. So I think that's how I would say, like, this place will I will always have like a little U in my heart for the rest of my life.
I couldn't have said it better myself. I totally agree. And they always say once you put the U on, you can never take it off.
Yeah.
It's so true. Tell me, what's been your favorite memory at Miami so far? I know there's been a lot, but what would you say is your favorite?
Oh, this is a really tough one. I think my favorite memory here is we swam against FSU my junior year, and that was the senior meet, and the week and a half before that, we had swam against for the Gulf Coast, and I had swam so bad. Like, I remember I was in the warm-up pool, and I was like, I need to quit this team. Like, I had swam so bad, like, so slow. Like, I was like, I'm not contributing at all to this team. And then that was the senior meet, and I just remember doing before the 1,000. It's like on the front end of the meet, and I was like, there's some people on the sidelines that have meant so much to me throughout my career, and this is going to be their last time swimming at this pool. And I remember just like, just go for it, like try and win, because FSU is a really tough team, and I was like, I want to like start the meet with like putting my best effort, and like if I can get the win, like that's amazing. And I won. I went out of 10 minutes, and it was like 10 minutes is like a big barrier, I think. And I went out of 10 minutes, and I was like, I went so much faster than I had gone like through the week and a half before. But I think that was like a big moment for me, because I didn't do it for myself. I did it for the people on the sidelines whose like last meet it was, and I was like, wow, like it made me really happy, and I hope like, you know, it made those people really happy too.
And
So
speaking of last meets, you're not there yet.
Yeah.
You still have a while to go, but you are going into your last season. So what are your hopes for this year?
like we touched like offline, like I just had a big surgery, so I think going into this surgery, I kind of had a mindset like, if I can get this surgery and be better than I have, then I'm gonna take that chance. Like even if it's a 5% chance, I'm gonna take it. And I definitely feel like now, after I'm like on the comeback, I definitely feel like I can do it. So I'm gonna swim faster than I ever have. Like I'm gonna break my school records. Yeah, I just wanna like end with a bang. I think that's.
And that surgery will hopefully get you there. Now let's break that down a little bit more. So you had thoracic outlet syndrome is what you had, and what caused the surgery in the first place. Have you always had that? Did that develop and force you to get the surgery? What was that like?
I definitely developed. I think I started having symptoms like during my sophomore year, and it wasn't really anything disastrous and stuff. And then like a year later, it was like, oh, okay, like now like I'm like a lot of pain. Like I started like, it affects your like nerves and muscles. So I started definitely feeling like tingling, and like I started feeling like the feel of my hand, and I was like, I can't swim like this. Like I was like, how am I supposed to swim if I can't feel my other arm? Like it felt like my other arm has having like an out of body experience is how I would like describe it the best. And yeah, I got it's a really tough disease also to diagnose. So then I officially got diagnosed like a little bit over a year ago. But then my season started, and I was like, no, like I don't wanna take like a redshirt year. Like I want to swim. Like I want to contribute, and then like get it after the season. And then that's what I did. And yeah, so that's where I'm like, tomorrow will be my 6-month anniversary from having the surgery, being ribless, because they took out my rib and then 2 muscles from here.
Wow, and 6 months, and now you're telling the story. That's so
Yeah.
special. Okay,
Yeah.
break us down a little bit. You had that surgery. What was the recovery like?
So the recovery was honestly like, compared to like a lot of other surgeries that I think you would see, it was still tough, but it's not as much like, oh, you need to kind of like protect your like the joints and stuff. Like for me, it was like, oh, like if you can do it, like you're pretty much good to go. You just like need to watch the volume, like don't go all out like right away. I did end up getting like nerve damage, just like from the swimming, and then like the surgery itself like also like irritated my nerves. So I couldn't lift my arm for like couple of first weeks, and then like my external rotation like completely gone. And that was I think that was very nerve-wracking for me, because like I said, I had gone to the surgery. I was like, okay, it's this or nothing. And then it was like, oh, it might be nothing. And I was like, oh. But then it was kind of like Julia, the PT here, she was like, oh, you will get better, like you just need to put in the work. And it was like a lot of extra work I had to put in to like get those nerves back and those muscles firing again. So that was definitely like tough. Like I definitely had my days where I would be like Julia, I don't know. But she would be like, no, you're fine. I was like, why am I not getting anywhere? Like it was just a lot of patience. Like, and I felt pretty good. Like I was like, oh, I can go. And it was like, but then some stuff I was like, oh, like it's not working like the way it should be working. So that was definitely like a big learning curve, and like the patience part was really hard, because I don't think I have a lot like to start with. So that was tough.
You mentioned learning patience and there being a learning curve to this process. I've been through injuries myself, and I know they're not easy. So how else do you think this process has impacted you now going into your final season at the U?
Well, now that I'm like 6 months out and I feel like really good, like the contrast to like previous years and now is just so big. I think every day I'm just really thankful. Yeah, thankful. I'm just loving it. Like I'm like, no matter how it shakes out, I'm like really proud of myself. Like also like for all the work that I put in this summer to like put myself into the position to even be able to compete here. And like all the support that I've gotten from like so many people, like so many people that I'm like so thankful of, like everybody in the training room, my coaches, my teammates. So yeah, I think the patience, and I still do like the patience. Like this morning did not have a good practice, and I was like, oh yeah, and I just needed to remind myself, like, you know, like one practice is not what like defines me, and like it's crazy to say because like I'm like on the older side, but I'm still working on that like big time, like trying to like see the bigger picture and not like, you know, not the not so good parts of the bigger picture too, because that's all about it too. Like having those bad days also contribute to your best days.
That's so good. And one thing you also did a lot during your recovery process, because I loved following you on social media through all of it, was how you would just celebrate the small wins, the little victories. When you first braided your hair for the first time, you mentioned lifting your arm. And another thing that you got involved in, which I don't know if this came from surgery time or not, but you started crocheting.
Yes.
Where did this hobby come from?
So it happened like a couple months before surgery, but I think the surgery and like the time that like I got off definitely accelerated the process. My really good friend Tara, she had ordered this like kit to make little animals, and I was like, that's so cool. And we used to crochet in like school in Finland, like elementary school and middle school. And I was like, oh, let me just do it, like trying it again. And I loved it. It was like so nice. Like it's just something like so special of doing something yourself. And then I was like, I bet I can make clothes. Like I was like, I'm so sure I can make clothes. And then I made this one top, and I was like, oh, that wasn't too bad. And then I was like, okay, I bet I can design, like do something myself. And then this summer, actually, my mom had a book that's like basics of crochet. Like it shows you like how to do like the stitches and stuff. And it just opened like a Pandora's box. I was like, this is amazing. Like I can do all this stuff. And it's been like, it's super rewarding. I love it so much. Like I love that I get to play like with different yarns and like colors. Like I love colorful like clothes. So I just love it. Like every time I put something that I made, I'm like, yeah, I made this. Like it's just like a little elevation. Like I'm like, I feel so good. And that also has like definitely taught me patience too. Like sometimes I have to like take some rows off. Like I noticed I messed something up, so I have to go back and do it again. But it's so worth the end result.
And I want to point out too, because this isn't some little like cute little silly hobby that you have. You're really good, because the shirt you're wearing right now is one of your own, one of your Aino Otava originals, should we say. So bring out, because I know we have a little show and tell here too, bring out some of the items that you've made, because we're going to show all this off. Talk to us. What do you have with us today?
Okay, so this is the first one I made. I made it at ACC, it's the conference. It's a little narwhal. Yeah, he's the guy who set it all up. He's super cute.
The one that started it all right there.
Yes, right here.
So cute. And then what's our next one here?
This is like a little mood octopus I made. I think those were always so funny, but I never like ordered one, so I was like, oh, I bet I can make one. So this like a reversible. You can like have a happy face, or you can make like a sad face.
Oh, it's so cute.
Yeah.
It was flipped to the happy side. Yeah. So I'm going to say you're having a good day.
Always the happy side.
Always the happy side.
Yeah.
So cool. What else do you have for us?
And then this is special too, because I made it at the hospital while I was recovering from my surgery. So it's just like a little colorful top. But yeah, it means a lot, I think. It's like definitely means like a lot of gratefulness. And then the last piece that I brought is a sweater. This was I'm really happy about this one. Everything's pink too, because I love pink.
Love. Me and you both.
Yeah, it's a little sweater I made. Everything's like made by me, like the little buttons too. Like
It's incredible. These look
round
like
ones.
items which granted you can make your own shop, but that you would literally buy online at a department store. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't see a single stitch out of place. It all looks perfect. You're so incredibly talented.
Yeah, no, it's taken a lot of work, but a lot of passion too, I think.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. Are you gonna start selling? What's gonna happen?
I will hold on to that one. I have a lot of excess supply right now, so maybe I will donate some stuff. I think that would be a good way to start, and then maybe work from there. But for now, it's just like more fun. Like I'll do it for friends and family, but more for myself and my own mindfulness.
Yes, it's beautiful. And I love how you talked about, every piece of clothing you put on, it's a reminder of that piece you made in the hospital, this piece you're just proud of working on, whatever it might be. So every single thing you put on is a reminder to yourself.
Yeah.
So cool. Well, we'll be looking out for maybe some NIL deals with the swim team and Aino Otava Originals. We'll see what happens there.
Yeah, maybe.
I love it. Well, Aino, awesome job. Congrats on everything you've done in the pool, in your career so far, and then off of your playing arena as well. So cool.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for hopping on. Cane fans, that's all we have today for Canes All Access. I'm your host, Cameron Dobbs. Until next time, as always, go Canes.